GitHub Actions OIDC to AWS. GitHub Actions workflows often need AWS credentials. Static access keys remain valid until rotated or deleted. A leaked key can be reused from any location. OIDC changes authentication from key possession to identity verification. GitHub issues a signed identity token for the workflow. AWS validates the token before issuing temporary credentials. AWS cannot validate GitHub tokens without a trusted issuer. The IAM OIDC provider records GitHub's token URL. The audience value binds the token to AWS STS. GitHub includes claims inside every OIDC token. The subject claim identifies repository context. The branch reference can become part of the subject value. AWS evaluates claim values before issuing credentials. Only matching repositories and branches can continue. Non-matching workflows fail during authentication. An IAM role defines who may assume the role. The trust policy evaluates the incoming web identity token. The federated principal references the OIDC provider resource. Terraform creates the provider before the role depends on it. AWS evaluates these conditions using strict logical AND. If either claim fails, STS rejects role assumption. The workflow presents its GitHub identity token. AWS STS validates issuer, audience, and subject. STS does not evaluate resource permissions yet. STS only decides whether role assumption is allowed. The runner receives temporary AWS session credentials. Those credentials authorize only attached IAM permissions. Authentication answers who may enter. Authorization answers what the session may do. The trust policy controls role assumption. The permission policy controls AWS API access. A trusted workflow can still deny resource access. Both layers must allow the operation. GitHub does not issue OIDC tokens by default. The workflow must request token issuance permission. The ID token write permission enables token retrieval. That permission does not grant AWS access. AWS trust policies still control authentication. IAM policies still control authorization. GitHub signs workflow identity, not workflow intent. Anyone modifying a trusted workflow can request credentials. OIDC removes static secret storage risks. OIDC does not remove repository compromise risks. Branch protection becomes part of AWS access control. A trusted repository becomes an IAM security dependency. Wildcard trust patterns increase eligible workflows. Every trusted workflow can request AWS credentials. AWS only evaluates configured claim conditions. Narrow claim matching reduces unintended access paths. Repository, branch, and environment claims shrink exposure. Permission policies must still limit production actions. On a submarine watch station, passing the first compartment check gets you through the hatch. That hatch is your OIDC trust policy. Inside the compartment, you cannot touch a valve or switch without the correct qualification tag. That qualification record is your IAM permission policy. In production, keep these gates independent. A broad trust policy makes the permission policy your last bulkhead.